If you've been looking into potentially moving to Memphis, maybe you're getting relocated here, job offer, you're just looking for a different opportunity somewhere else, you may be considering Memphis because of the cost of living.
Yeah, cost of living is attractive here in the Memphis area.
That's right. So we got a pretty solid cost of living. You probably can save some money if you're coming from these other cities, some of the bigger places, other parts of the country. We're going to dive into all the major costs that you're going to experience living here in Memphis. And we're going to get after that right now. What's up, everybody? I'm Jared Laster.
I'm Kris Goudy. I'm a real estate broker with 360 RealtyPro right here in Memphis.
And we're here on the Moving to Memphis channel. And on this channel, we're kind of giving you all this information, taking you out, showing you around all the different neighborhoods, the suburbs. And you're getting this from a guy, Kris here. He's been a lifelong Memphian.
Yeah, I've lived here all my life. All 25 years I lived right here in Memphis.
25?
All right. Maybe a little longer than that. But yeah, lifelong Memphian. I'm familiar with all the areas. And I hope to share that knowledge with you guys to help you make the right choice if you're going to be relocating right here in Memphis.
That's right. And I'm like you. I'm new to the area, so I'm kind of guiding us through this. And we're going to get the info that you want. That's here on this channel, so make sure you get down there, subscribe. Click the bell. You're not going to miss all this great content that we've got coming out for you. And these videos are coming out every single week, so you definitely don't want to miss it. And then, if you are that person, you're really thinking about making that move here, whether you're in the very beginning stages, you got a house you need to sell where you are, you haven't even put it on the market, or you're closing next week and you're scrambling wherever you are. Hey, y'all, don't wait. Go ahead, reach out to us, because that's the only way we can help out. And Kris, how can they reach out?
Yeah, take that next step and give us a call, send us a text, drop a comment. We don't mind. We'll reach out to you. We just need your contact info. But get in touch with us and let's start the process to help you make an educated decision if you're relocating here to Memphis.
And Kris, what do we like to say? We're going to keep you
from singing
the blues when you come here to the home of the blues here in Memphis. We want you to go listen to and enjoy the music and not live it. You don't want to live it. You don't want the experiences that create that blues music from your home purchase and moving here to Memphis. That's what we're doing for you here on this channel. We're making sure that you have a good experience. You find the place that you want, the area that you're going to love, a home you're going to love, and enjoy living here in the Bluff City.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're doing on this video. We're talking about the cost of living here. What's it going to actually cost? And I think for most people watching this, you're going to be it's going to be something that you're going to like here, because you're going to be probably saving some money if you're moving from maybe a larger city like a Chicago, New York, Dallas even, or anywhere in California, the whole state. So wherever you're coming from, pretty good cost of living here. And we're going to run through all those categories here. We're going to start with groceries. What's it cost? How's that compared to some of these other areas?
So I think the cost of groceries, Jared, they're going to be pretty similar to anyone else that lives in the South right now. I know my family, I've got a household of 4 people and 2 dogs, and we spend something like $250, $270 a week at Walmart, have the groceries delivered, which if you're not doing that, you got to do that now. Save you time and effort. But we spend about $250, $270 a week on groceries, and then, like I said, that's a household of 4 and 2 animals.
Yes, I think, for that cost there, it's going to be pretty comparable to, I'd say, most of this kind of part of the country from the south on up, just kind of the middle part of the country, outside of those major cities where you are going to have it a little bit more expensive. Here, I'd say it's going to be average or a little bit more affordable than what you'd find, on average in the rest of the country. Yeah,
I would think so. We've got some great grocery chains here. There's Kroger here, Walmart, of course. They just opened a Trader Joe's in one of the suburbs out in Germantown.
You might spend a little more there.
Yeah, a little more there.
Some of these other places.
And of course, we've got the Whole Food Market.
You're
going to spend a little more there too.
Yeah.
But overall, the cost of groceries is well within reason here in the Mid-South.
Yeah. So if you want to, kind of get the normal price, the average cost, you got those. If you want to spend a little extra money, maybe you like the organic stuff, or maybe you're trying some new diet like a keto or something. You want to find all that stuff. What, you know something about that?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So anyway, hey, whatever you're looking for, you can find that kind of stuff here. And even if you're paying on the higher end for here, I think you're still going to be saving some money compared to some other places. But you don't always want to cook your meal at home. Sometimes you want to go out and enjoy, a nice date night or or even take the kids, you just don't want to cook one night. So what about eating out, dining out here in Memphis?
So all I can speak is from my personal experience. Family of 4, if we're going to, I don't know, a nice medium price range restaurant, we spend probably $60, $65. That's with tip. That's chicken strips for the young one and then full meals for the rest of us. So
I think casual dining, right?
Yeah, casual dining I think would fall on a family of 4 somewhere around $60, $70 with tip.
Yeah. Now, if you want to go out on a fancy date night, you can do that too. There's a place that actually a lot of people don't know about, and I actually went there with my wife. I was telling Kris about it up there. It's above on Beale Street. There's BB King's Blues Club there. Above that, there's a place called Itabina, and it's nice. It's overlooking Beale Street there. I will tell you, if you want to go check it out, it's hard. You're going to be wondering, how do I get to this place? It's just some stairs up behind the Blues Club. So it almost seems a little bit sketchy how they have it laid out. It doesn't seem like you're going to a nice restaurant, but then you walk in and it's white tablecloths. I think I got a ribeye or filet there, and it was delicious. So you can do that. That's going to be on the higher end, like $120 or so. Maybe get you a glass of wine with it.
Sounds romantic, Jared. I didn't know you had that in you, man.
Well, it's because I don't take you to those places, Kris. So you can do those kind of things here. You got different options, but again, I'm going to say this on just about everything you go here. I think it's going to be kind of on average, if not a little bit more affordable than most places that you're going to be looking to come from. We're moving on from that, getting into kind of the core home cost of your utilities. What are you looking at? Electric, gas, water, and in the different parts of the area, you've got some differences on that too.
Yeah, that's going to vary a little bit. So if you live inside the Memphis city limits, then you'll get your utilities from MLG&W, which is Memphis Light Gas and Water. The cool thing about it is it's all on one bill, so convenience is a good deal with that. But I would say for a 2,000 square foot home, the average cost of utilities would be somewhere around $300, $320 a month, and that's the average. So that takes into the dog days of summer where you're running that AC all day long, and then into the cold days of winter where you're really pumping that heat. But just to average it out over the year, for a 2,000 square foot home, somewhere around $300. And then, of course, the larger homes would be a little more than that.
Yeah, and that's all the utilities. That's, again, you said electric, gas, and water. Now, if you're in Memphis, you did get that benefit of having it all together. If you're outside in the suburbs, you are going to get separate bills for those.
Yeah, we have different utility providers in the suburbs, just depending on whether you're in Tipton County, Fayette County, maybe not quite that far, but those bills will not be combined, but I would say the cost is still similar. Maybe a little cheaper than Memphis, but nothing drastic. But to me, that's not an overbearing cost in a family. The utilities are reasonable in the area, I would say.
Yeah, and I have heard, just talking to people moving from other parts of the country where, that $300 is $500, $600 there. And so it's definitely more affordable than a lot of places you could be coming from. Here, and that's kind of going to be the average most houses, in that range. Most people moving. That's kind of the range we're looking at. Now, another really important expensive home, which is really, I know people that will keep this on, and then this doesn't make any sense, but then they'll let their electricity get cut off, and that's the internet. You got to have internet these days. You're going to miss these videos. So what you want to keep that internet on here at your house. What kind of ranges, what kind of services do you have here for internet? And then what does that cost?
We've got probably 2 to 3 service providers in the area. The price range just depends on your download speed, right? So it starts somewhere around $59 a month, and I think it goes up to maybe $110 a month. So just depending on how much speed you need, how many devices you have pulling off your Wi-Fi at home has a lot to do with it. But anywhere between $60 and $110 should cover all your internet costs.
Yeah, and you can get, a pretty good, depending on what you need there too. The lower end, if that's all you need, if you want like a fiber, high-speed, gigabit type connection, you can't get that everywhere here, but there are now a lot of places where that's expanded out where you can get that.
It is. So in the suburbs, you're probably going to be limited on your options. But here in Memphis City, you've got tons of options, and the speeds are incredible.
Yeah, I know over where we are, we've got the 500 megabit per second there.
Okay.
So yeah, it's available. Whatever you need. If you're like us and uploading all kinds of crazy stuff on the internet, you can get the internet speed that you need for sure.
So the next thing we need to talk about, Jared, is kind of a hot topic in the country right now, the cost of fuel.
And it's changing a lot,
Gasoline.
It's up and down, mostly up these days.
So I think that varies pretty widely depending on where you live in the country. So
Oh,
I'm going to talk about right here in Memphis. Last week, a gallon of gas cost you about $3.10. This week, I filled up this morning, it was $2.90 a gallon. So not the best, but definitely not the worst in the country.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen, I think everybody's probably seen or lived, if this is you, where it's out $5+ $7 in California.
Yeah.
So luckily we're not there, and hopefully, knock on wood, we don't get there.
No, I don't want to be there.
But hey, we're a lot better than that here. You can still get out and drive around. Yes, it does get high if you live downtown. You got the bird scooters around here. You can ride around and have some fun on that. I know we like getting out and riding on those, at least when you're down here locally. But it's nice to have that lower gas price so you can go travel a little bit. You don't feel like you're kind of stuck in the area.
So Memphis is a large metropolitan area, so there's a lot of commuting that happens. So factor in the gas bill, factor in what part of town you want to live in compared to where you're driving to, because with such a wide area, it can be substantial in your budget.
Yeah, and pro tip, we do have, at least, I don't know where they all are. I know there's some places here we've got Costco here or Sam's Club, and you can usually get about 10 to sometimes even 20 cents cheaper a gallon.
Yeah.
So
same thing at Kroger, the grocery chain. So we get
you got to get those fuel points.
Yeah, get your fuel points, get your pharmacy points there.
Yeah, do what you can to do that. You can save you a little bit of money there. All right, next up, we're getting out of kind of just the monthly bills, budgets that you're going to have to plan for here, and get into a couple of the big costs that can more than likely here save you a good bit of money compared to where you might be coming from, and that's going to be the housing costs and the taxes. So, Kris, it's a big range, and it's hard to nail this down for the whole area, but maybe give us, in town what you can find some things for. Maybe what can you find new construction in the suburbs? Just what's available housing-wise.
So to me, Jared, that's one of the most attractive things about Memphis is the cost of housing, right? We got people relocating from all over the country. They're coming here, they're buying these homes. Some of them are able to work from home now. So these homes, for what you can get for $500,000 in Memphis, it's great. It's a lot of house for $500,000 in Memphis. But let's talk about some of the new construction, right? Because there's so many variables. I don't know what you guys are looking for. Of course, when you reach out to us, I can nail that down for you.
That's right.
But just to let's just talk about new construction in the area. So within the city limits, if you're looking for new construction, which there's not a ton of that going on inside the city, but the cost is probably somewhere around $180, $200 a square foot. You can get a nice 2,000 square foot home for $350,000, and that's a brand new home, Jared.
Yeah.
That's brand new construction in Memphis, so that's a good deal, I would think. Then of course, when you get out to the suburbs, those prices vary a little bit, but there's a lot of new construction happening in the suburbs. And so for a 2,000 square foot home out in Tipton County, you're probably looking at a $350,000 starting point, and then it goes up from there just depending on how much square footage you need. When you get out east in the more affluent areas, Carterville, Germantown, first of all, the square footage is going to be more than 2,000. It's going to be closer to 3,000 square foot. And I think those homes have a starting point of somewhere around 500,000, 600,000 for new construction. And that's on the low end for new construction in those more affluent areas.
Yeah. And, I think you can find those things. You can get the new construction. You can find resale homes, more affordably than that. In the market we're having right now, the challenge is just it is still competitive.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the difficulty, but you're going to be able to find some option if you wait around and watch long enough. We get you set up so you can kind of keep up with it and see what's coming onto the market. You can find that thing you want probably in a price point that's better than a lot of other major cities in the country.
Oh, definitely one of the more attractive major cities in the area as far as the cost of housing. But hey, look at the date of this video, because that plays a lot to do with it, because we're taking 10 and 15, 20% gains over the last year right now. So pay attention to the date of this and make sure that these numbers are relevant to the time that you're watching the video.
Yeah, and I want to say too, as far as buying a house, you got those. You do have the 800,000, the million, the $2 million houses here. But I mean, even once you get up to 600,000-700,000, you're getting into just, even at that point, really a kind of a luxury home.
That's a luxury home in the Mid-South. Yeah, if you're spending over 500,000 in the Memphis area, you've got a nice home.
Yeah, I mean $1 million solidly. I mean, you can get right up here for what do you think these run, like overlooking the river?
So right here on the bluff, these homes, they're ranging, I think there's one listed now for 900,000, and then there's another one a few doors down at 2.4 million. So depending on the home, the amenities, the view, it can vary quite a bit. But $1 million in Memphis, that buys you a beautiful home.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out too here that the home prices obviously gone up. They've gone up all over the country this past year. It has been a crazy, really year and a half for real estate in general. But maybe this is different in some other areas. I don't know. Here in Memphis, buying right now as opposed to renting, if you can buy, it's just going to be so much of a better deal for you right now.
Definitely. For one reason, you're building that equity. You're invested in something, and so the rental rates in the area, they've gone up probably 25% over the last year.
Yeah, I know we were talking about a condo down here in the South Bluffs area of Memphis, just south of really it's still kind of part of downtown, but on the south side of downtown. You saw it went from $1,450.
Yeah, a little over a year ago, it leased out for $1,450 a month. It's back on the market yesterday, $2,100 a month in just a little over a year.
Yeah, so that gives you an idea of where rents are going. And the thing about this, today's price, even if it's $2,100 to rent today and $2,100 a month to pay your mortgage and everything or whatever you buy, in 10 years, that payment's still $2,100. Where that rent can go up every single year. So that's one of the things they don't factor in a lot when you're talking about rents versus buying. You probably can find something cheaper than $2,100, pretty close to comparable, I would say.
Yeah.
But then when you factor in that overtime value, it's going to be so much better.
It's substantial. It is.
Right. And then the last thing on our list, and this is a big one why people look at probably Tennessee in general, and that's going to be the taxes. What are you going to be looking to spend there? What are you going to save? Sales taxes, property taxes, income tax? What are people having to expect when they move here to Memphis?
Well, I've got good news for you on that. No state income tax in Tennessee. So that's a bonus, right?
There you go.
Yeah. And then we'll move on to sales tax. So sales tax is not the best. It's 10%. It's 9 point something. So we just average it up to 10% in the Memphis area and Tennessee in general. So we got a 10% sales tax. And now we'll move on to the property taxes. So the property taxes are going to vary depending on whether you live in the city limits, whether you live out in the county, or whether you live in some of the competing counties, the suburbs, like Tipton County and Fayette County. So for a $300,000 house in the city limits, the taxes range from like $2,800 to $3,400, just depending on if the assessments have caught up with the sales prices yet. But for a $300,000 transaction home in the Memphis area, the taxes are about $3,000 a year. If you get out into the suburbs north of that, Tipton, they're like maybe half of that, so that's a little more attractive. But you do lose services, right? You lose trash pickup, you lose like limb and leaf removal from the area. So those are some services that you pick up in the Memphis City area that you're not going to get in the county or out in the southern Tipton County, which is one of our suburbs here.
So it costs a little more, but you get a little more.
You get a little more for your services, you do. Plus you get like Memphis Police, the Memphis Fire Department, all that is covered through the property taxes. But some of the most attractive taxes in the area, that's definitely in Fayette County. I mean, we've got those make a big impact on that monthly payment. So I would say that taxes in Fayette County for a $300,000 home probably fall somewhere around about $1,100 a year.
Yeah, which is just great. And if a lot of people worry because here you've got the no income tax, no state income tax, and you go look at some other states that have that. For example, you may be looking to move, or maybe you've lived in Texas before. Texas really gets you on that, the property taxes to make up for not having that income tax. And I think they're like 8.25 on their sales tax. So they're a little on the higher side too. So I guess here where they're making that up as the sales tax.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're not spending a lot of money, you can avoid that here. You know, and your property taxes. You can't get away from the property tax, no matter where you go. So to have those low property taxes and no state income tax, that's kind of hard to beat here in Tennessee.
Yeah, I think it's an attractive part of living here. So home values and property tax, that's a reason to relocate to Memphis.
Yeah, and y'all, it's just all the amount of opportunities that you got here, all the different employers, jobs, businesses, things that are based here, just big companies that you maybe are being relocated with, that you have opportunities you could explore here, and the amount of money that you can make in the Memphis area compared with the cost of living is gonna be really hard to beat just about anywhere in the country, especially in a big city like this.
Yeah.
Where you've got all the things you can go do, you've got all the downtown activities, you've got the festivals, you've got shows coming in. They do the Broadway type shows up here. It's endless. You can find things. Now I know you live here forever, you probably get used to some of that stuff, but I'm telling you, take it from somebody like me. If you're coming from a small city, if you grew up in a small town, you can do endless things here in Memphis and without huge extra costs. So it's a big reason to look into this area. And y'all, that's really about it for the cost of living here in Memphis. Of course, it's gonna vary a lot over the area. We're trying to give you an idea, an estimate, so you can compare that to wherever you're coming from. It's really going to depend on where you end up, where you like, the areas that you want to be in,
Yeah.
You know, your job, what do you want to be close to, what your commute's going to be, all that kind of stuff. We can help you figure that out one-on-one. Right after you do two things. First, subscribe. You gotta subscribe. Click the bell, and you'll get the videos, and that's going to help you kind of narrow down those areas. And two, when you're getting ready to make that move here, take it one step further. Reach out to us. And Kris, you can do that.
They gotta call us, they gotta send us a text, an email, drop a message in the comments. Let's get in contact. Let's start the process. Let me teach you about the areas, what the do's and don'ts of Memphis, but get in contact with us and let's start the process.
That's right, y'all. We can't help you if you don't reach out, and you just gotta do it however you can do it. It does not matter. We're gonna help you out, keep you from singing the blues about your move here to the Memphis area. And hey, we're gonna make sure you have a good experience. Make sure you love where you live when you get here, and just take care of you through the whole process. Y'all, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.